First stop, automatic start.
Honorary doctorate conferred by International Peace University in Germany, Daughter of India National Award in memory of Kalpana Chawla, Ramnath Goikonok Award, GTF Women Excellence Award, Award at Award at World Peace Summit 2019, Hindustan Gagan Gaurav Award from Pujya Mantralaya Math, Kala Kusuma Award, Natya Madhuri Award, Arulu Mallige Award, and many more. I take the privilege and honor to welcome you, ma'am. I'm sure our viewers are excited to hear from you. I request you to take over from here.
It's an honor to be here this morning. Very good morning to all my young friends. We'll start off. Yes, so as I kickstart the session, I'll be switching off my video and switching on to the presentation. So hope the presentation is visible to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So all my young friends, once again, a very good morning. I'm really privileged and happy to be with you all, addressing on a topic that's very close to my heart. Is college the right time to start up? Because I started off when I was in college. I was in second year engineering when I felt that I have to do something differently. And that's when I started with a small dance institution called as Anjali School of Dance and Music. All this during my second year engineering. There was kind of a mad courage that helped me take a leap. And then when I started off with the journey, there were a lot of challenges, but since then it's been an incredible journey. So from second year engineering, so starting off with Anjali School of Dance and Music, and today having two more companies, I feel humbled to be exploring everything what my heart says. So what I would start off telling you all is that do everything you are passionate about, do everything what your heart says. So in a world that's always trying to make you like everyone else, it takes a trust me to be you. You are all unique. All of us are unique. So coming to the basic part of our body, that is deoxynucleic acid or DNA we call. So no two individuals can have the same DNA. So zillions and zillions of people are there on this earth, but every person's DNA is so different and so unique. That means all of us are unique and very different. So it reminds me of a very popular poem by Kuvempu, Rashtrakavi Kuvempu. He says that, O Nanna Chetana Aguni Aniketana. So, O Nanna Chetana Aguni Aniketana. That means, be unhoused, O my soul. So, be unhoused, O my soul. So, be different, be unique, be you, because you're all very, very different and you're all unique. So I'm Anjali. So I am an entrepreneur. I'm an actress. I'm also an anchor. So I've hosted prestigious events across India, like Aero India International Seminar. I've done prestigious events in the sports arena as well, and have also been humbled that I've been fortunate to have bagged some of the prestigious awards and accolades. So this is the best question. When is it right time to start your own business? I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this. You're in the class, you're in the college, it's a Kelvin and an Ops moment where you're physically present in the class, but you're mentally somewhere. Your mind is hovering because last night you dreamt of a brilliant dream that had a brilliant idea, and now you're thinking, how do I put it to practice? How do I execute it? I'm sure a lot of you would be going through this, because I was the one I would be most lost in my college, in my class, until a professor came back to me and told, Anjali, are you present? This was a regular thing for me, because every day I would be dreaming of something. Every day I still do that. I'm still lost most of the time, trying to build something, trying to dream of something, trying to have a vision. So that vision, trust me, will not make you sleep. So if you suppress that vision and start sleeping, that means you have given up on what you really wanted to do. So having said that, when is the right time to start your own business? So as I told you, you have a great business idea. Should I start up now? So there's this two voices with us. The one which is of your heart and one which is of your brain. So I'm sure, especially at this age, you'll be going through a lot of mental dilemma as I went through, seeking clarity of what you really want to do, being at a stage where you are at the peak of graduating and having a pressure from your family, having a pressure of your friends, looking at them settling down in jobs, and always hearing a lot of them around you talking about those lavish packages. I was hired by Amazon for this package, I was hired by Dell, I was hired by this, that. I'm sure this would be a conversation that would be going on around and around, so forcing your mind to adopt to the same thing what the whole society is doing. So everybody graduate, everybody is taking up a job, everybody is getting married, so everybody is setting up a family, and everybody dies. This is what millions and millions of people have been doing. Do you find something so exciting in this? I don't find it exciting because it's a part of your life. But this life has given you an opportunity to make it very exciting. So when you want to make it exciting, so why do you want to stick to those rules and abide by those rules? So you have a great business idea. So your mind says, your heart says, chalo, karlo. This is a best idea you have. Then comes your mind. No, mind is a big spoiler in the game. He comes and says, he gives you a lot of logical questions, a lot of things. He comes and tells you, okay, let me start my business. Now, how do I start my business? I'm still in college. I don't have monetary resources. I don't have financial help. And if I start my business, one more thing is that what will my peers think of me? They would feel I am mad, because a lot of them are so much engrossed into studying, so much engrossed into getting marks, so much engrossed into getting placed. If I set up and if I think of this business idea, will people think I am crazy? I'm sure this would be a thought hovering in a lot of your minds who really wants to do something in the business space. So you say that, is it the right times to start now, or should I work for someone? Should I work in this company, that company? I'm sure I'll be gaining a lot of work experience and then start off. So then comes another question. Okay, let me start off a business. So everybody have told that you would be hearing a lot of giving up stories around also, with the never give up stories. Let me tell you, my friends, 90% of them think of giving up. Only 10% of them take up the tide, go against the tide, and do what they wish to do. It is, of course, starting a business is like standing on this hanging rope. You never know when you may fall. But trust me, it takes a lot of mad courage, crazy courage, to do something very risky. So you have this question in your mind that says, oh, is starting a business a risky choice? What will my parents think? What will they think? They're like so happy that I'm almost getting graduated and then I'll have a job and then I'm feeding my family. So they have this dream that my son or daughter will be placed in a big company and doing something. Now my mind and my heart is thinking of starting a business. So you have a question asking yourself, that is starting a business a risky choice? Then comes another question in your mind. So it is like, it's not time yet. You feel that, no, I'm still very young, so maybe I'm not experienced, maybe I have to gather that experience, maybe it's not time yet, I have to give it some time. So this is what your mind thinks. So I'm asking you, why should you allow your mind to think this way when your heart is prompting you to do something? So trust me, your intuitions Trust me, your inner voice can never get you wrong. So I'm a living example of this, because whatever I have thought, whatever has been my intuition prompting, whatever my inner voice has been telling, I have made sure that I have tried my 100% to follow my heart, rather than listen to all these factors that at one point in time you feel were not important at all. Then we have lot more excuses for that. Then there is just one single real retaining reason. Again, as I told you, I'm still in college, I'm very young, I have no experience. If I have experience also, I don't have funding at all. Then comes, how do I sell my product? The idea is brilliant, but I don't have right connections. Then you say that I don't have time. Then you tell yourself, I'm not ready at all. So you have 5 to 1,000 to 10,000 excuses that keeps popping up in your mind, telling you always no, don't do it, while your heart is still telling you, please give it a try. Thoda dekh lo na, kar lo. So let's see what happens. If I fail, it's okay. If I don't fail, it's still okay. So, but yet your mind is prompting you to not start. So you're getting into this pressure of your mind. You, with all these 100 excuses, you'll tell, do you really think you need all the reasons to start a business? Do you need every favorable condition? Trust me, you don't need favorable conditions to start a business. So if you start looking for the right time, if you feel that, oh my God, tomorrow the right time will come, day after tomorrow the right time will come, then sometime else the right time will come. That right time will never come, my dear friends. That right time will never come. Well, when is the time actually? So what is the right time to start the business? Do you think it seems like the time is next, tomorrow, later? Of course not. The time is now. It is the time for you to put those brilliant thoughts, put those brilliant ideas into practice, and start doing something very basic. Start building at least a foundation to your thoughts and ideas. Trust me, it can never take you wrong. So again, your mind says no, but I would say yes. So hear to your heart, and yes, and go ahead and start your business now. So start off with a great idea. Start off with a very simple idea. If you feel that you can go ahead and bring it as a viable product or a service into the market, please, it's time to start now. So my young friends, my friends, you know what it needs? It only needs passion. You have to really love what you do. If you don't love what you do, I would tell you, there's no point in doing something. So एक जिंदगी है, जी ले अपने मर्जी. So live the way you want to live. So do everything that you are passionate about. So what happens when you are passionate about doing something? So even those challenges, even those hardships, or those roadblocks that comes, it starts becoming very small in front of the bigger vision, in front of that bigger passion and a bigger dream you have. So you, to start a business or to do anything, trust me, you have to be very passionate about it. So very passionate to embark on a new journey, for because it is that passion that can fetch you the success. So be very passionate about it. So as long as you're passionate about your idea and feel that you need to embark on a journey for your part of success, trust me, it is the right time to start your business. Now, so we are constantly talking of the biggest brands. They've made billions and billions of money. They've provided employment opportunities to many people, lakhs of people. So we keep talking about those businesses. You know, some of the great businesses which we are so adored of, which we talk every single day, which we use their products and services every single day, were all born in college. They were all mad people. They were all crazy people who went all out to start their own companies. And today, they've been the success, not just a country, but the whole globe boosts off. So you want to know which are those companies? The first one, here we go. This is Facebook. So Facebook was a company that was started by Mark Zuckerberg when he was in Harvard University in 2003. So originally called as Face Mash. So it was first called as Face Mash. It was initially designed to mimic the website Hot or Not, which was then a social media website rating users based on their level of attractiveness. Zuckerberg gets so excited. So he has seen this Hot or Not website on social media. So that's making a lot of waves. And he feels that, okay, I also want to do something. So I'm feeling this face mash, an exciting idea. So what he does, Zuckerberg and his friends, they hacked into Harvard's computer network to collect student images. So within first 4 hours of launching the site, Face Mash had over 22,000 views in just 4 hours. So then what happens? He's gone into the college computer network and he has hacked all the college images. Do you think the college will keep quiet? No. So Zuckerberg was soon shut down by his university and placed on a 6-month period of academic probation. So look at the kind of risk these people have taken. I'm not telling you should go and hack into your college website or your college database. But what I'm trying to tell you is, so their vision, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg was very clear on what he wanted to do. So did all these factors but made it detrimental that he stopped his dreams? No, he did not stop dreaming. So Zuckerberg was soon shut down by his university and he was placed on a 6-month period of academic probation since he obtained students' photos without the consent. So after the probation period was completed, so Zuckerberg, he became proactive, even more active, and he moved on to create the Facebook, which was launched officially in 2004. So within just 1.5 month, half of Harvard's undergraduate student body signed up. Everybody started feeling this so exciting because we're also equally excited. No, every single day, I'm sure all of us spend at least a couple of hours in Facebook. So we may not spend so much time on our phone, on our sleep, but we still tend to spend a lot of time on Facebook. That's the kind of fascination Facebook has created. So today, Facebook has continued to grow via the addition of new universities. So eventually to general public. So he started slowly putting it to new universities, then high school students, and eventually he made it public. So that's how Facebook became public. Facebook became accessible to all of us across not just a country, but across the globe. So by the end of 2005, trust me, Facebook had 9 million in revenue and 6 million monthly users. So that is an incredible success story of a Harvard undergraduate student starting Facebook. So this is okay. So next comes another search engine. So we are so fascinated. So probably there's not been another search engine as pragmatic, as efficient as Google. So Google has everything. So you can Google, you get everything. That's been the kind of business model, that's been the kind of consumer, customer friendly model Google has been adopting and it has been bringing about. So Google was again started by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. So these were the two people. So they were both graduates again at Stanford University and founders of Google in 1998. They had a hard time juggling between their startup and their studies. So these two students, when they were in college, they started off Google. So, but they balanced their studies and they started juggling between their startup and their studies, and even opted to sell it to Excite. So once they had a thought of selling it to Excite for 1 million. So fortunately, it's been a fortunate thing. So sometimes they say that good things take time. So you'll be thinking of you've been rejected, but trust me, you're being directed to something more good and more better. So these two friends, they go ahead and try their best to sell Google to Excite for 1 million. No, fortunately, Excite declined the offer. So it declined the offer. Other it declined the offer, and that's how they started continuing to work on Google. And today, Google is one of the most prominent and trusted search engines across the globe. That's how Google was born. So now comes our own homegrown brand, that is Zomato. No, Zomato. So every phone has the Zomato application. So we all have that Zomato, we all have that Swiggy with us. So every single day, every other day, that you during pandemic when you wanted to relish on some delicacies. So the the only application we trusted on was Zomato. So go ahead, buy what you want, and relish those delicacies. So Zomato has made life so easier for us. You know, it was not easy for these two IIT graduates who started with Zomato. So though they both were sitting at a cafeteria, and the two realized how people were struggling standing in long queues to look at a menu and place their order. So it was eventually taking them a lot of time. So standing in the long queues, trying to get the menu and place the order. So this is a kind of a gap they saw, and then that gap they wanted to bridge it. So that's when they decided to start their venture that is called as Foodie Bay. So Foodie Bay is the first venture they started in November 2010. So it was in November 2010. They named the startup as Zomato. So now the restaurant discovery platform went on to become a food tech unicorn. Now it delivers food in 500 Indian cities, adding 4 new cities every single day. They've only been expanding at a very progressive, at a great exponential phase. So that is the story of Zomato. Now comes Ola. So looking into the travel industry, so taking the whole travel industry by storm was Ola. So everybody started using a cab, so making transport so easy for all of us. So at a time when people had to look for buses, look for autos, struggle, go on roads and keep searching, calling, and every auto driver, rickshaw driver telling, I can't come to this location, I can't come to that location, and go and stand in a bus stop. So waiting in queue, and then getting into the bus that is jam packed, and trying to get down in that jam packed bus. So this had made a lot of our journeys, lot of people journeys very, very hard. So seeking this gap, so Ola was born. So Ola was born, and it was founded by, again, IIT Mumbai batchmates Bhavish Agarwal and Ankit Bhati. So they started out in a small apartment. So these two young friends, what they would do is, one would be on the field trying to onboard more customers, and other, Ankit, would always sit in an old apartment coding the website. But soon the two people realized that as they saw people very keen on booking cabs, they wanted to make their travel hassle free and easy and comfortable. So that's how Ola was born. So, and the rest again is a history of Ola. This is a Practo. So Practo is a medical application. So that a lot of us have been now regularly using. So again, Practo was Shashank ND and Abhinav Lal. They were batchmates at National Institute of Technology. So in 2008, while still in their final year BTech Computer Engineering, the duo founded Practo Technologies. So Practo Technology was initially called as Tubodoc.in. The idea hit Shashank while he was struggling with father's medical records and scanning them to send them for a second opinion from an American physician. So, unable to access enough information about the doctor, Shashank wasn't sure if he was making an informed decision. So, thus he founded Practo along with his friend Abhinav. And today, Practo is been one of the biggest companies that's making so much waves in the medical segment, making it so easy for the patients to get medical aid at the right time and right place. So then comes Microsoft. A lot of you are aware of Microsoft, that was started by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. So Bill Gates joined Harvard University, but after a year, Paul convinced him to drop out. The two of them were so interested in starting off with their idea, that is Microsoft. They both decided to drop out of the university, then they started struggling for first few years until they realized the success in 1981. So that is how Microsoft was born. And today, Microsoft is a household name globally. So this is Dell, another company we're so fond of because of the kind of customized PCs the company has been selling. So this 19-year-old Michael Dell so founded this computer company, then named PCs Limited. So with only $100,000. So his revolutionary idea was, so he wanted to sell personal computers directly to consumers. So he found a gap where the computers were there, but he wanted to customize them. He wanted to personalize them and sell them to computers, something that really hadn't been done before. So he threw his focus into the idea that providing custom PCs to anyone and everyone was the way of the future. So he felt that providing computers to anyone and everyone is the way of the future, and rest is the history. So like this, we have a lot of great companies that were born out of college, and today they have been biggest brands globally. So they're Yahoo, be it Dropout, be it WordPress, among many. So coming to the next part, the major part, we saw a lot of them who have been starting from college, a lot of them with those brilliant ideas. But why did they all start? Why did they find that courage to start? Why were they so crazy about an idea that nobody else dreamt of, but they knew that they were all risking everything for a dream that only they were seeing, but nobody else. So it was their dream, their vision, and but they all started. So why did they start? First thing, for a business, for an entrepreneur, first thing you have to realize is a problem. So there is a problem. The society has a lot of problems, and what an entrepreneur does, what a businessman does, he is not just into making money. So friends, if you have an idea, yeah, I'll start a business and I'll make money. So because we have only been talking about money, yes, business needs the capital, business needs you to make money, but the idea behind business should be something beyond that. So they all wanted to solve some major problem. Like Ola wanted to solve the problem of making customers easy, of making travel easy. Zomato wanted to solve the problem of not allowing people to waste their time standing in long queues. You're already hungry, so you want to have food, but you're wasting your time standing in long queues and energy as well. They wanted to make that hassle-free. Practo, he wants to make the medical help very hassle free, make it easier. So they all saw a problem in the segments of their interest, in the work, in a domain of their interest. So whatever interested them, they wanted to fill that gap. So they started thinking of how do we fill this gap, and that's how these businesses were born, and today they've been doing great. So first thing is to understand what the problem is, and to focus all your energies, to focus your thought on building something where you can solve those world problems. So you have a service motto, you have a motto of solving a problem. Trust me, you'll have the money coming and chasing behind you. So as an entrepreneur, you can have a vision to say that I will make so much money, but it's always better to be a successful entrepreneur to say that I will solve the problems of the country all the world in my own way by building a reliable service or a solution or a product that can help the consumers, that can help people at large. So if you start bridging this gap, if you start connecting these dots, trust me, you can become very successful in whatever you do. Secondly, they all, when we spoke about their stories, when I was talking to you about their stories, something they all had in common was they all heard what their heart said. I'm sure they would have a lot of dilemmas, but there was that mad courage. No, I want to do it. It's okay. Whatever happens, let it happen, but I want to do it. So they wanted to do it. They took that mad courage. They followed their intuition. They followed their inner voice. They moved ahead. They faced a lot of challenges. I'm sure today we only talk of them as success stories. We only talk of them that, oh my God, they are the big legends in the business world. But they had loads of failure, loads of challenges. But every single time they faced a roadblock, they only tried to find a solution to overcome it, but never gave up. So that's the reason why they're there and we are still here. So we should also have a vision of getting there and not being here always. Okay, so why is college the right time to start up? So we have been talking of people who started out of college. We've been talking of what is business, so how do you do business? But the next important question, very, very important question is, why is college the right time to start up? You know, you're at a phase of having lot more advantages than progressing in life and starting off. You know what? So in college, the obligations you have is very limited. बहुत ही limited है. So you have the time, the space to explore because you don't have other commitments. So eventually, as you progress, as you graduate from the job, as you graduate from the college, and as you start taking up the job, so what happens, you start getting into an obligation where you start fulfilling those financial commitments that comes. Then you have a family to feed, then you have to look after the family, then you have to get married. So lot of obligations comes wherein you're not left with the actual time, the actual space to think or the time to do something. So having said that, college is the right time. This is a boon for you, a time for you where you have that resources, where you have that time space to explore and experience. So you might think that when you are a student, you are in a terrible position to launch a startup. You'll be thinking that I am in a terrible position, I cannot do this. You're wrong, my friends. You see, though there are certainly some things that are against you. For example, there are things like, oh, I have no financial backup. I'm sure this would be something which will be bogging you down from starting up. Or you may feel that you don't know enough at all, and you may feel that, oh my God, I'm still very young, people may not take me seriously. So these are the cons you have. You may feel these are all the factors that may bog me down. But still, as I told you, in a college, you're in a very right time frame, and this is a position of greater advantage. So if you start a company later in your life, you might have far more serious financial obligations. You can't afford to spend a huge chunk of your time because you already have divided your time between your job, between your career, between your family, between a lot of things. But you're not left with a huge chunk of time developing something, as your family expects you to be with them, so for dinner as well, or you will have some of the obligations that you have to fulfill in your career, in your job. So what happens is, one more most important thing is, as we move on, as we age, the energy in our bodies reduce. That's how we are, right? You can't have the same energy you have today tomorrow, because we are aging every single day. Our energy levels every single day may become a little lesser, may become, not telling you start becoming old. I'm telling you that what happens is, the enthusiasm, the the kind of exuberance you have at the time in college may not be the same as you progress in your life. So when you start getting into a job, or when you are kind of into fulfilling a lot of financial obligations, what happens is your time is divided into a lot of things that has to be given importance at that point in time. So then you start losing that oomph to start. So you're in no position to start. You feel I'm already tired, मैं थक गई हूँ, इतना बहुत काम है, घर पे भी काम करना है, घर पे भी सबको निभाना है, so I have to take care of everybody at home, मुझे तो ऑफिस में भी बहुत काम करना है, but yet मेरे अंदर एक ड्रीम है, I'm not able to fulfill. So friends, this is something I've heard from a lot number of people. Trust me, 100% में तो 99% यही बोलते हैं. Especially after sometimes, see, I graduated around 6 years ago. So 6-7 years ago is when I graduated from my engineering. So if you look at what I am doing and what my friends are doing, a lot of my friends have been settled in the job, and they've married and have children. But when I speak to them, they all come up with the same question, asking how are you doing it, while I'm not able to do, because I'm into the vicious circle of life that's bogging me down, that's not helping me to do what I want to do. I'm actually depressed inside, but masking up all my intentions, just trying to smile outside. So never do that. Don't take it to the later part of your life, where you may feel you have an idea, but you don't have the actual energy and time to execute it. So having said that, at this point, you're at a very great advantage in college, because it is perfectly the right time, obviously the right time to start up. So what happens is, when you are in college, you are having huge number of opportunities. So I'm glad that this was something we have been addressing on today, my young friends. I'm really glad that BMS College ECELL has come up with a topic like, is college the right time to start up? Because something which we have to really address. College is a time, this isn't a time for you, because you're at a greater opportunity. You have greater opportunity to really do what you want. So first one, at this point in time, what you don't know can help you. You don't know something, but it can help you. You're not in a preconceived notion. As you become aged, as you become experienced, what happens is we tend to put labels to everything. So everything, you're labeling it. So we start measuring every activity we do. We start measuring every action we take. So in measuring that, we only start finding the reasons why it can't be done, more than finding reasons why it can be done. So what happens is, in a college, you're in a position where you're not in a preconceived notion. So of kya log kahenge, what is happening in the outside world. Like if I'm trying to do something, so this inexperience what you have at this point in time, it is an advantage for you. So it's always good to be positive and say that, have those positivities in mind, because as I told you, you are not bogged down by limitations. So in a certain industry that comes and brings across to you, so you don't have those limitations in your mind. Unlikely when you are working in an industry, then when you start trying to work on a product, so probably you may have situations where you feel this industry may not function this way, or me bringing in a product at this point in time in this industry may not function well. So what you don't know can help you in a big way, because you don't have those preconceived notions at all. So it is easier for you to take risk where others wouldn't, because you would take risks because you don't really perceive them as risks, you perceive them as creative solutions. So it's a lot of difference between the risk and creative solutions. So when will you perceive it as risk? When you know there are certain boundaries and limitations that exist. When will you perceive it as a creative solution? When you're not biased to the problems. So you're not biased by any previous experiences. There's no biasing element that's present. So you only know that you want to do something, you're finding it creative, and you want to go ahead. So in fact, you can use your this naveness and your status as a student to learn more about the markets and customers you're trying to sell to just by asking people for help. You're at another advantage where you can go ahead and ask people for help. So you can tell people, look, I'm trying to do something in this space. Can you please help me? Trust me, lot of them will be very glad to help you, but you have to approach them. So what we think is, before approaching people, before asking people, before telling somebody, we come into our own notion, thinking that they may not help us, they may judge us, you may be wrong. So you can go ahead and ask people for help. If they don't help, kya hoga? Next one, no? So ये तो होगा ना. So college में we have this, no, एक लड़की अच्छी लगती है, all you beautiful young men here. So this girl looks so beautiful यार. So if she doesn't accept my proposal, ए चलो क्या करना, वो भी beautiful है, next change. So something like that. So you can have this policy. This was just a joke. You can have this policy here also. If somebody doesn't help you, you can still have another option open where you can start searching for help. So again, as you take up job, work, you have a great package, you start becoming very comfortable. So that is how we are in life. Today we may think we have been doing something, today you may think I'm doing something very exorbitant, but when a time comes wherein you're offered with something great, so sitting in front of a system, I can make so much money, and why do I have to struggle? Why do I have to risk everything? Chalo, let's not do that. Let's settle into something more comfortable. So what you don't know can be a great help to you. Then one more advantage, being in a college, it is easy to get mentors. Something which I personally connect to this point, because when I started off, when I was studying in my engineering, as I told you, and then one fine day it happened to me that I get up midnight and I tell my mom, who was sleeping next to me, that I want to start a dance school. And she's like, what are you telling at this point? So are you crazy? What do you want? Just shut up and sleep. Please go to college next day. So get your marks and work, get a good job. I told, no, I want to start a dance school. So when I started off, things started moving as I wanted to, because I started asking for help. I started asking people where I could help, where I could get help. You know, one person was very glad to offer me a space for rent, a big garage for rent for just 200 rupees, because I wanted to do something. See, look at the advantage I had then. So now if I go and ask somebody to give me a space for rent for 200 rupees, will they give me? No, they'll tell, no, you can't do that. This is the rent. This is what it is. But then back then, because I was in college, I was at a greater advantage. Second, what happened is I got a lot of mentoring from my college also. There was a point in time when I spoke to my professor about what I was trying to do. My college became more supportive, and more accommodative also, because there were times as a performer, I was already traveling when I was in my college. I have performed for a lot of big brands. I feel very fortunate to be associated with Madhushala. That was a project. I worked for Amitabh Bachchan when I was in college. So it was his 70th birthday celebrations. We did a Broadway musical at Reliance Film City while I was studying in college. It was during the same time around I worked with Anil Ambani in their Ambani's house, that is Anthelia, where I was a part of a very customized dance work that happened called India Fantique by Abujani and Sandeep Khosla, wherein all their designer outfits were all exhibited in the form of dance. So I feel so fortunate that I went ahead and did that at the cost of my college while I was still studying. But my college, my team, my professors were very supportive back then, and now also they're very supportive. So they say that college is the right time to get mentors. Your professors are always likely, are always happy to help you, but the help will come only when you ask them. If you don't ask them, they won't help you. How would they know what is running in your mind? So go ahead and talk to your professors about what you want to do and how you feel this would benefit everybody in large. I'm sure you will be getting a lot of mentorship and support from your college as I have received. Because recently, when I floated my agri-tech startup, that is Avani Green Factory. So with a vision to work on a lot of products and good agricultural practices in the organic space, I went and pitched in this idea to my college and my professor. So what he did is he started forming a team of interns right at our college. And today my college has been a research consultant. So the same department has been working as a research consultant to my own company. So isn't it a great thing to have your own college, to have your own professors, to have your mentors be with you all along? Yes, it is. So it all happened because I kept in touch with them. I continuously discussed what I wanted right from the time of college. And even today, they've been the same support system. In fact, yesterday was a day where I addressed a wonderful talk to my college on what is the importance of organic products and how do we protect our soil. So coming to the third point is easy access to learning forums. So what happens is in college, you'll have a lot of learning forums where you can easily access it, because you can actually sit back in your classroom right after your classes are over. You can sit back in your library. You can sit back in the park or in the amphitheater space if you have in your college, because right now all the colleges are so big, you are left with so much space where you can sit back, you can think, you can form strategies for your business or your ideas. You're left with a lot of learning forums. So like library, where you can go and get the kind of books you want. You can also spend more time in your college, so you can spend the time whatever time you get in the college. And secondly, what happens is in college you'll have a lot of events. For example, today you're conducting an online event, an online webinar. So similarly, I'm sure you will have a lot of events coming up, so wherein you can see which event will be a right platform. Like your college fest also can be a wonderful platform where you can really exhibit and talk about your service. So it all depends on how you pitch and how you talk. So that those are the two things, how you communicate your idea. So you also get access to technology and services for students. Your computer labs are always present, so you have most of the softwares that's there, so you can still use those resources and softwares and everything completely for free. So this is all free, so you'll get easy access to all the learning forums. So what I suggest you is, please make use of these opportunities. This is a boon you have got, this is the right time, so make use of these opportunities and go ahead and build something. So next comes the fourth one. So a bigger market for your products. Of course, yes, you may be thinking that I may not get a market for your product, but this would be an idea where you really get a lot of market to your product. Because what happens is, excuse me, I'm just having some water. Yeah. So a market for your products. Of course. So what happens as we move out of a comfort zone in a world unknown to us, it's not easy to get your customers. So let you. So you are bound to be questioned. You have to, how you answer your questions forms the basis. So I'm just asking you again, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So it would be a market for your products. So it's not easier to market your products outside, but inside your college, you always have an opportunity to build a customer base instantly. So if your target audience are the students, you have students where you can talk to them. If the target audience are your parents, you can talk to the parents. So you have a chunk of people, customers already ready. It all depends on how you pitch your idea to them. So you are at a greater advantage. So the best way to take advantage of that network is to understand that the best companies try to fulfill a need that the founders actually have themselves. So the reason this works so well is that because these have the need and understand it. So you have to understand what is the need and provide solutions to it. So main thing, so to build a market for your product, you have to understand what your customers are looking for. What is something that is not there in market, but it's very important in market. So if you can understand this kind of the product and service, I'm sure this would become more easier to sell your products. So taking up an example of Facebook, so what did he do? He sold his product first to his college. So then he took it out, right? Before going globally, he already had customers from his own college. So he took it out to his college. Then he started referring other people. So then he started referring other people. 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 Then people started using, they found it nice, so then they started referring other people. So normally whatever social media is there, whatever branding strategies you build, me being a brand consultant myself, what I would suggest is Facebook mein itna likes hai, itna shares hai, don't think your product will just go off like that just because your video went viral. No, it doesn't happen that way. It will take some time for you to get the reliable customer base. So it will happen when people like your product instantly. When people like it, they start referring it themselves. So we have to, our work should be on the ground where you actually make it customer friendly, more customer focused. So you start telling it to your friends, you start telling it to your immediate family members, you start pitching this idea to your students and start asking them to kind of subscribe to it and start using it. So then this if your product is good, it will move on. If not, don't worry, because you still have the time to improve on your product. So for example, you started working on a business idea and you asked your friends and family for the support and they started using, they felt something is not working. So you got a feedback from a lot of them telling that no, this is probably not working for me. Then you still have a time and space to revisit, get back and see how you can improvise. That is what Microsoft also did. They started improvising, they started working on the feedbacks and built a solid network, a solid system. So that is how you get a market. Then comes the fifth one, the most important one. So if you fail, you can always graduate and get a job. So you're like, you're done. You did everything. You did so much. Oh my God, I did all possible ways. I tried to explore. I tried to experiment. I tried to use a lot of my time in building up a product, in building up a service, but it's very unfortunate that destiny has something else for me. I'm failing in this. So you feel tired, you're like, you feel I'm done, I can't take this anymore, I'm pressurized, because the journey of business, the journey of entrepreneurship, trust me, it needs a lot of resilience. More than anything, you need a lot of guts, lot of courage, with that perseverance and resilience. You can't expect a bamboo to grow in just a week or a month time, because bamboo takes a lot many years to grow, but when it grows, it stands still. So if you fail, you can always graduate and get a job. So what happens is, when you have, if you have put it in your resume on the activities you took up, so it would be a short sign to your employers that you are creative, you're trying to do something out of box, you have explored it, so you have experimented on it. But because due to the other unavoidable circumstances, you have to take up a job. So that's the reason. So please don't consider this as a failure. So never consider something that doesn't happen to you as a failure, because if something doesn't happen, that means you're redirected to something even better. So this is out of experience, I'm telling you, because this is at an age where, as I told you, your intelligence is most probably hijacked by a lot of your hormones, and you feel, oh my God, lot more tempted to take up something, but lot more depressed when that doesn't happen. But through the phase, you will start building the factor of controlling your emotional instability. So that will become better as you mature. So you can't be the same person you were yesterday today, because every single day we are growing. So don't consider anything as a failure. So it did not happen because uh, the regret of not doing something is very bad. So having a regret in your life that I wanted to do something, I had an opportunity, but I thought it will not happen and gave up. Then I tried my best. I used everything I could do, but it did not happen. So, but that's okay. I've learned a lot of lessons. So, what a failure teaches you is a lot of lessons. Success cannot teach you. An easy success, an overnight success, trust me, can't teach you the valuable life lessons that a failure can teach you. So don't ever consider it as a failure. Don't ever consider it as a thing that has blocked you. Consider it as an opportunity that you got to learn from it. So college में ये बहुत ही opportunities होगा. You have a lot of opportunities. If you fail, you can always graduate. You still have the option of graduating and getting a job and then trying to explore what you want to do. So having said that, college is the right time to start up. So then moving on. So now you have decided, you felt, yes, I want to do this. I want to start up. I have made up my mind. Whatever comes, if I fall, it's okay. If I fail, it's okay. I'll just move forward. Now you're in college. You have to divide your time into your studies, into your business also. So what are the tips for starting business at college? So me starting off a dance institute when I was at college, the major tip I can share what I learned is the prioritizing. You have to know how to prioritize, how to choose right courses, how to utilize the resources. So how do you prioritize? So you have to divide your time. So divide your time into your school, into your college studies, into your academics, into other things. Then divide your time to focus on your business. So we all have those 24 hours. So if you can really make use of those 24 hours, okay, leaving the 6 hours of sleep or 2 hours of other things we do, so at least every day you're left with solid 10 to 12 hours to do something. So use that 10 to 12 hours in prioritizing and planning. When you prioritize, you have to put in something very important in mind. Make a habit of writing. So what I do is, my tip personally, if I have to share for starting a business, I'll tell you have to write everything. So whatever thoughts comes into your mind, what it may feel very stupid at one point, it's okay, you make a note of it. It will lead you somewhere. So prioritize on what is called as the short term goals and the long term goals. Very important. So what is short term goal? So short term, I want to do this. I want to finish my homework, or I want to finish my assignment. I want to take up the exams. So I want to study for exams. So these are all short terms. What is your long term? So long term goal is something where you, after 10 years, where do you want to see yourself as? So trying to visualize this is very important, my friends. The art of visualizing helps you big way. So sit back and visualize. Sit back and visualize and see, dream of where you look at yourself after 10 years, after 15 years from now. So do you want to be in a company where you're working, or you want to have a Rolls Royce, you want to have an Audi, you want to have a BMW? That's what I keep thinking of. So keep thinking big. So always keep thinking thinking of something that is always bigger. So to make something, to make a dream a reality, planning and prioritizing plays a crucial role. So schedule your task to the college work or the personal work you have along with your business work. So the kind of idea you want to build. So spending some time on working on your business strategy slowly. So you can't have it all figured out at once. You can't say that today I have an idea, tomorrow I'll start the company, day after tomorrow I'll become a billionaire, and the very next day I'll become a legend. You can't have that. So life will not give you such quick opportunities, and it is bound to give you a lot of surprises. So prioritize on everything. And secondly, don't beat yourself too much. we are human beings. We are found to feel exhausted. There are times where I feel very exhausted. What I don't do anything that day. That's okay to be that way. So please don't, what I will say is, please don't always keep putting, pressurizing yourself, because your health, your well-being is equally important. So in the name of doing something, please don't pressurize yourself too much. If you feel exhausted any day or any minute, take a break. Very important. Take a break. Taking a break will help you channelize things, will again get back the energy you wanted when you prioritize. So that is something about the prioritize. So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't be too much yourself. So whenever you feel like doing, give it a maximum and try doing it. Second, choose the right courses. So when you have a long term goal, so when you have put it across in your paper, in your book, saying that in longer term I want to become this, I want to do this, you cannot have everything like, do this, what you want to do, you can't. I'm telling you, at this age you can't figure out everything at once. Don't figure out everything at once. So be someone who goes with the flow of life. So then you'll start accepting the reality. So whatever is in your hand, so you have to make use of those right courses. So what is the course I can take up? Okay, I'm trying to do a business in this space. Okay, in a financial segment, I want to become a financial consultant, or I want to run a financial consulting service, or I want to run a financial software where it becomes easier for us to make our banking more hassle free than whatever it is now. So there are a lot of gaps, I can fulfill it. So when you feel that that is what you want to do or something else, so choose the courses that is in accordance with that. So start exploring, start searching for the courses, or start searching for the mentorship, start searching for the classes, be it online, offline, and start searching for the experts in that phase. So start trying to understand as to how they have done, so what they have done, and how somebody in a field of interest, whoever is successful, what were their key notes, key takeaways to success. So please go and research on that. So it's very important that you learn from people, so you learn from their what is that, become smart enough to learn from somebody else's mistakes. That needs a lot of smartness, unless and until you start doing the mistake. But try learning as much as possible from other person's mistakes. So go and learn from the experts who have done it so well, who have grown so much. So and take the key takeaways. So choose right courses, right mentors, right right things that can propel you forward like a rocket. So you have to just go. That means you have to choose things that are right. Then comes utilize the resources. So you have a lot of resources, as I discussed with you back then. So utilize the resources you have. So a lot of resources you have, be it your college space, be it your library, or a conference room in your college. You want to meet somebody there, so, or you want to have a team of students, whatever is with you. So utilize the resources. You can always ask for help from your friends, from your colleagues, or from your teachers. So use everything that is present. So one more advantage you have is you have a lot of discounted pricing for a lot of softwares you have as you are a student. So a lot of 63% of small businesses what is starting today, they spend a large huge chunk of money on technology. Their investments go into technology, but you're still in an advantage where you have those resources readily available in your college, because right now the colleges, the resources or the technologies they have been adopting has been so smarter that lot of the softwares, a lot of the technological things that's readily available in your college. So be smart enough to utilize those resources. Then comes connect with other students. So very important. So go start collaborating with your friends like you've all done. So it's nice that you've all formed a team here like an ECELL. Like that, go and collaborate with your other friends whom you feel are like-minded, whom you feel will share the same kind of thinking as you do. Go and collaborate. That's how Facebook, that's how a Google, that's how a Microsoft, that's how a Zomato, that's how a Olo. If you look at all these companies faring so well, they have something very, very much in common. So what is that very much in common? They have the right friend with them. right? So they were not one person who has started all this. They're two people who have started, two crazy people. So they've connected, they've thought, they've explored that idea. So it's always good to have somebody with you. Your work becomes easier. So anytime you stumble, you have another person to hold your hand. You hold his or her hand, or he will hold your hand. So you have another person to support you. You have another person also to sit back and fine tune the strategies. You may always not be right, or he may always not be right. So when you sit back and talk to each other, interact, you something interesting may come up. So never hesitate to connect to students. So talk to your friends, talk to your classmates, talk to people, and start pitching your idea to them. So, and ask them if somebody wants to collaborate with you to make it happen. So what a lot of startups have done is they've onboarded the same students are there as their employees. So today, whoever started off in such startups, so they've all been faring so well. So college is a multidisciplinary plenary hub. So what happens is, in a classroom you find people with diverse patterns, diverse mentalities, and diverse interests. So you may find somebody who is like-minded, or you may find somebody with something else who may give you different perspective to the whole thought. So connecting with other students and talking to them will give you a better perspective, so of what this may work or this may work. So always connect to students. Next comes ask questions. Very important. Never accept anything easily in life. Ask questions. You, whatever dumb the question may seem, but ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you can't seek answers. So you want to ask answers, you have to ask questions. So what happens is, just try examining it. So you test everything carefully. So you have bought something, test this. So if I have a pen with me, so what I do is I test this pen and say, what would be the cost of bringing this pen into the market? So what did they do? How did they bring in? So they brought a nib, they brought this plastic covering to it. So how did they do? So that how and why questions are very important. You have to ask question to yourself. Try seeking those answers. So once you question and get the answers, trust me, your vision will become much clearer. So ask questions like, who would use this business or service? So what makes the business desirable? So for you, your business is nice, you feel it's good, but you have to also ask question if my idea may sell in the market. So that happens when you start asking questions, when you start talking to people. Okay. So next comes, as I told you, create a schedule for yourself. Okay. Create a checklist, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So what do I want to do at what point in time? So if you want to do this, do this. So if you want to do this, do this. So form a checklist. Write down everything you are thinking of. Next thing, very important, is learn to say no. So it's not required that you start accepting everything. So everything, everything somebody says, please don't accept it. As long as you feel that you should be accepting it, please don't accept everything somebody says. So more than anything, trust me, at the end of the day, somebody says this product may not work. There are cases where the products have worked big time. So please don't allow somebody to bog down your enthusiasm. So if somebody says a no, it's okay. Ask yourself, if you're doing it right, then go ahead and do it. So what is more important is, whatever you do, as long as you function with right intentions, with a lot of honesty, trust me, you will fare well. So learn to say no. Very important. Then comes tying it together. So a full schedule can make you feel like a ticking time bomb. Like, oh my God, itna hai, I'm on fire. So much work. But combining school and work can balance the day. So what happens is, when you start learning the activity of balancing at the early years of your life, like in college. See, in my case, what I was truly occupied in my college. So I would be always occupied. That helped me to prioritize things, that helped me to schedule things, and that also helped me to get a lot of good marks in my academics as well. There were times where I would be traveling, as I told you, I have performed at the best of places. I'm very fortunate to have worked even with Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra in his movie called as Mirzia. So I was one of the core dancers to be collaborating with Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra, wherein for Mirzia, along with Raju Sundaram Master and Mayuri Upadhyay, this all happened when I was just graduating from my college. So tying it together, so what happens is bring it to all together. So when you are when you want to do something, when you have that the vision to do something, so the kind of things that becomes very small, like you may not always have time to hang out with your friends. That's okay. It's okay to one day not hang out also when you are working on something bigger than that. So tie it all together. So what happens is when you start balancing it out, when you start working out, you become more balanced in life. So whatever is the pressure, you don't take it as a pressure, you take it as an opportunity. That's what I team it as, because from a very young age I got an opportunity to explore a lot of things that has helped me to channelize, that has helped me to prioritize, that has helped me to schedule things better, that has helped me to take things forward and build strategies for my business or my personal life. So what I would tell you is I'm not unhappy in either spaces as well. So be it in my professional life or my personal life, I've learned to balance it all. I'm learning to balance it all. So when you are multidisciplined, so it helps you to tie it all together and still try to give a very well balanced kind of life. So more than very important thing, for starting a business is to find the right funding option. So seek for funding. So if you are like trying to get a crowdfunding done, so go ahead, speak to the people of your idea. So ask people to put in even a small amount of money can form a huge ocean. So small money can give you a big ocean. So try crowdsourcing it, or you can go and approach government for loans. That would be in the later stage. But in a college, because you're in a small space, you can go and seek fellowship and grants from your own college, apply for scholarships, apply for a lot of small fellowships, scholarship schemes that keeps coming. So be aware of them, keep researching on them, keep researching on all the funding options that are available at this point in time, at the resources you have. So try exploring a lot of funding possibilities, and pitching your idea to everybody, so you never know where you find complete funding. So make the best use of it. So this is the tip for starting a business. So as I told you, college has been very instrumental for me in helping me start up at a very early age. So I started off when I was in college. So almost in college, just starting with one student. When I was at the time of graduating, I had almost 20 students who were kind of studying dance along with this student already. So I was already making some money, was helping me to balance my studies as well. So whatever was required, I could fund myself. Option. So if I have to give you an example, I'm taking my case as an example because I've already done it. You can connect to me better, because if I have done, somebody from one college somewhere, if I've been doing something, you all have a greater advantage of doing it even more better than I have done. So there was an event where I had to organize for my dance institute. I was short of funds. You know what happened? I pitched it to my college and my friends. My friends brought in whole funding to me. They went in search of funds among their peers. They asked their parents, they asked the teachers, they went ahead outside of the college also trying to get funding. See, that is the kind of support you get from your college. So when you are in a bound, when you are in a team, so everybody, there are people who really genuinely want you to grow. So even my lecturers, my professors have all been very supportive of my startups, whatever it is, and they still are. So college will be a great place for you to get the support system. Moving on, this is the harsh reality in life. Trust me, life is not the bed of roses. You may be thinking that today I'm doing something and tomorrow I'm becoming successful. Trust me, it won't happen. For a business to break even, you at least need 3 minimum years for a business to at least reach a break even point. So, this is the reality in life, that you can't sell your products at one go. You'll have a lot of times where you have to rework, re-strategize, rebuild, refocus, rethink. This keeps happening in this vicious circle. It's a big circle, so you can't expect it to be hunky-dory for you. So with all good things coming, because my idea is nice, your idea may not be a good one to other person. So try to accept it. So life is not easier. You'll have a lot of roadblocks, you'll have a lot of challenges, you'll have a lot of times that you cannot do. So, but what keeps you apart is, even facing those challenges, how you overcame it will be your success story tomorrow. So if you want to share a success story tomorrow, your success story is not your success. Your success story is how you built it from nothing to something. What all did you do? How did you face those challenges? How did you face those issues? How did you come up with it? That is your success story. Yes, challenges, harsh reality, roadblocks, it is going to be there, and it will be there. In case if it is not there, that means you're not working in the right direction. So my friends, if you're working in the right direction, you should stumble. I'll tell you, you should fail, you should stumble. That's when you'll become stronger. If you're not stronger, tomorrow again, like in a wind, you'll go off. So you have to become very strong. Your foot should be firm. You should be very strong. At last, very important, never give up in life. Never ever give up. Life is very big. For me, life is beautiful. So you've got an opportunity to live. You've got an opportunity to explore. You be very grateful to everything you've got. A lot of them, they don't even have an opportunity that you are having today. You have a system, you've gotten access to these teachings or learnings, but there are lot of people out there, they don't have that opportunity also. I'll tell you, please be very grateful to where you are today. You'll only go further. Be grateful to your parents, be grateful to your teachers, be grateful to every opportunity that comes your way. So be grateful, but never ever give up in your life. When you know you're doing the right thing, when you're functioning in the right direction, never give up in your life. You know, very recently I was hearing to a wonderful interview by Kiran Mazumdar Shah, the founder of Biocon India. In the interview, she very rightly said, she told that when I talk to youngsters, this is what I've heard from a lot of youngsters also, everybody wants a job. If I go and ask someone, what do you want to do after your college? I'm looking for a campus placement. I want a job. Why do you only look for working for someone? Why do you want to work for someone when you have an opportunity of creating a job? Trust me, it gives you a bigger identity. So you will be known. You'll be known among people. You'll start building your identity. So why do you want to look for a job when you can create it? So India, trust me, is a country which is full of opportunities. Every nook and corner, you find a problem, you can find a solution for that as well. You have hundreds of opportunities, and a country can progress only when there is possibility of you creating employment to a lot more people. So you are here in an ECELL. That means you're all looking for an opportunity to work on your business. That's why you're here. Otherwise, I'm sure you wouldn't be here. So you all are at a greater advantage of creating opportunity to a lot of people. You know something, lot of people out there, they're looking for opportunities. Lot of people, they don't have resources. Lot of people, they don't have jobs also. So they've been having a hard time in life. So you should be someone who will uplift a lot of such people. So that will happen only when you can be in the position of leading, in the position of creating. So do explore the latent entrepreneurial energy in this country. You have to take up entrepreneurship. So somebody says to you something, don't be a job creator, don't be a job seeker, be a job creator. So be someone who is ready to think big. So think big, dream big, do big, sky is the limit, and university will hold your hand. Thank you so much. Hope you all enjoyed this session of whatever I could share. Once again, yep. Okay. Yeah. So hope you all enjoyed the session. So on the entrepreneurship as a bigger thing than you even visualize. So please take it up. Please do it. So now we are open for questions. So if you have any question, I'll be very happy to answer it.
Yes, ma'am. So guys, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box and it will be answered.
Before starting off, ma'am, I personally have one question.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me, Prajwal.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Prajwal.
Yes, ma'am. So, like being a student of college, how difficult is it actually to get funding from the investors? And basically, we are just a startup, and we wouldn't even have completed our degree. So, with this cutthroat competition in this world, how difficult is it to get investments for our startup?
It would be difficult. Let me not give you a very fairy tale answer telling it would be so easy. People will come to you. They won't come to you. So me being in the same space, trying to get funding for my business at this stage also, it's not been easy. So they won't come to you. So you have to regularly pitch in your idea. So start finding ways. So you have to see, if you have pitched it to one investor, he may not like it. That doesn't mean the other person may not like it, right? So you have to be consistent in your approach. So start pitching it to a lot more investors. More than investors, as I told you, start doing it in a small way. So start looking for other options where you can get easy funding.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Other questions? I was looking for a lot more questions from you all. So why is there so much silence? So there should be two things that should be happening. Either you understood everything or you understood nothing.
No, ma'am. I do have one question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, to basically start on with a startup, and as Prajwal already asked, the funding problem. So how difficult is it to find a probable location for our idea, ma'am? Like if my startup idea is to build a small industry which consists more space, how is how is it difficult for me to find a relevant place and which accessible to all the resources and people as well?
So now you are see, there is something called as incubation, if you have heard of it, right? So there is something called as incubation. A lot of colleges, a lot of universities have offer you an incubation place. You know what is this incubation? Incubation is a place where you are helped with office, you are helped with the required resources till your business takes off. So you have to go and approach such incubation centers also along with your idea. For example, if you're looking at Indian Institute of Management, you have something called as NS Raghavan Cell. So NS Raghavan Cell is a place where young entrepreneurs are helped to incubate. So like that, there is something in Dayanand Sagar University also, and I'm not sure if it is there in BMS College also. There'll be an incubation center, so you can go and approach to those incubation center. They'll help you with the office space, and they can, if your idea is interesting, they can help you with a lot of resources and help you with funding also. So incubation is the option which you have to be looking for.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Shashank to ask out his question. Shashank Prakash, you can unmute yourself.
Please ask the question.
Yes, ma'am, there's a question in the chat box. It says, how important is it to take training for direction?
1 second. I request, where is the question? I've not got the question.
Ma'am, it has been sent privately to the host, ma'am. I'll be reading out the questions to you.
Yeah, send it. Okay, done. So what kind of direction are you looking at, Shashank? So can you be more precise on it?
Movies.
Ma'am, for directing movies.
Oh, for directing movies, yes, it's always good to get into direction. See, what I suggest is more than attending a course or a class that will only give you a theoretical prospect aspect to it, but to have a practical approach, I suggest you have to start working in theaters. So theater, Rangabhumi antivala. So theater is a platform that, trust me, will give you a lot of skills. So if you look at a lot of bigger directors, they've been into theater. So like be it Raju Hirani or whatever it is, they've been into theater. And secondly, look for the best schools that train you in acting, like the National School of Drama. So you can approach National School of Drama. So you can approach the Film Institute of India. So a lot of alumni are the people who have really graduated from there. That's the Film Institute. So taking up a course is important, and trying to have relevant experience also with you is important. So don't just get into direction. So try having some experience in the field, try working with some directors, try associating with them, explore the possibilities in theater, get a course, get a learning done from a good film and direction institute in India, then go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. And there is one more question. It says, ma'am, what was the financial background when the companies like Facebook and Dell, they started out with their dreams?
Their financial background was nothing. They were all students like you. No, so just think what would be their financial background. So the only background they had was their idea. That's it. So that's why if you look at their stories, if you go back and look at their stories, they all started small with a system, with a laptop, in a college space or whatever space they got. Because see, financially they did not have much options, but the only option they had was their idea. So they started working on their idea, and financials came in later.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So that was the questions what we had today.
So there's one more question that's come to me once again.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the main points that needs to be added in the presentation of a startup when looking for the investor? This is a wonderful question from Girish. Okay, so what are the main points? First thing, when you're looking for a proposal to an investor, see what an investor looks. He looks for the viable financial gains, right? So you have an idea, but if you don't financially, or if it doesn't profit him, why should he put in lakhs of rupees into your business, right? So looking at a businessman perspective, so what your proposal should have is, what is your idea? So why do you want to come up with this idea? How does this idea solve the problem, whatever problem? Next, if he can invest in your company, what is the kind of share you'll be giving him? Second, give a rough estimation as to how much approximately, maybe I'm not telling you, you'll have it all figured out at once, but give a rough estimation of, if he is funding into your idea or if he is investing into your idea, what would be his share in your profit. Very important. So this clarity you have to have. So go through it, then form a proposal. So the main thing is, first thing, idea. Why do you want to do it? How do you want to do it? And what are the target audience? How do you bring about? Why do you are looking for an investor? What is the amount of investment you're looking? And the amount of investment, give a breakup of where you're investing. See, if you're looking for an investor, so you will say, I need an investment of just roughly around 5 lakh rupees. So you would say 5 lakh rupees, why are you looking at 5 lakh rupees? If he is investing in your idea, where are your expenditures? So if you're 5 lakh rupees, will it involve your overhead costs like the rent? Yes, you have to add that also. If it is adding up your technology, you have to purchase a technology or something, add that also. If you have to, in case if you're in a manufacturing segment, you have to purchase a machinery or something, add that also. So add every cost that comes. So when you're pitching a proposal, you have to be very clear as to what are your costs. Make a proper breakup of everything. Go into it, revisit. So fine tune your proposal and then pitch it to investors. Trust me, if you don't do this, if you're thinking that the investor will come and happily fund me, it won't happen. So it will not happen. That's not the reality. So they will ask you hundreds of questions. So hundreds of questions. So there may be times they'll send you back telling, please rework on your proposal and come back. So be open to it. But before you pitch in, fine tune everything. So you have any doubts, revisit, start working on your proposal. That's what the tip I can give you. So my next question is, I have a plan, I have a place, I have no funds and technical problems. What to do? Very nice question from Supreet Josh. I'm glad, Supreet, you have a plan in place. Very nice. I'm happy to hear this. I have no funds and technical problems. So Supreet, what you have to do is, so you have a plan, you have a place. That's a big advantage you have, right? So in that place, what you have, so how you can kind of solve how you can build it in the resources you have, try thinking. In case if that is not available, technical problems, what is the problem you're facing? Okay, I don't have a system, or I don't have a Wi-Fi, or I don't have a connection. So if these are the problems you're thinking, see, go and approach your immediate circle of people. So like your friends, your teachers, or whatever it is. So tell them, this is the problem I have. How do I find the solution financially? You can start sourcing small funds to it, and then start getting it started. So if you have the technical problems in place, I feel college is the right place for you, and go and talk to somebody who is very close to you. I'm sure you'll find the solution to this very easily. Will the investors have creative control your product or project? Very nice question. That is by Nikshep Akarkend. Nikshep, what happens is, out of my experience, investors know, because they invest money in your project, they're bound to um, give you a lot of heart attacks later part. So you have to be ready to take those heart attacks. So they will have, they are bound to have some control, because they'll say, like, for example, you come tomorrow, you tell them that you need another round of funding of so much rupees. So, and you'll tell, this is what I'm trying to do. They're bound to discourage you, or they're bound to encourage you. It is left to them. So what happens is, you have to be very smart. This is a place where you have to be smart in getting the right person as your investor. If you don't find a right person, so just ask yourself if this person is right. So as they evaluate you, so as somebody evaluates you, you have to evaluate them also. So don't get so excited that somebody came forward and is funding into my idea today, so he just liked my idea instantly. Don't do that. Ask questions. You ask, when in the process of asking question, understand what is his sense of belonging into your business. So it's like a teamwork. One person can't do anything. The person who puts in money to your business is equally responsible. So is equally responsible in understanding your business, in resonating with your idea. If they don't resonate with your idea, so it's not he is not a right investor. So having an investor who can really resonate with what you do, who can hold your hand if there is a failure, who can really think of your vision as his vision, very important. So he may have control on your creative processes, but have person who is giving you the right guidance, or who is giving you the right perspective for it. In case he comes and says straight away, discourages and says, I've put in money, you're not giving me any returns to it, I'm going away. So he was not the right person at all. So make your, what I would try to tell you is, make your things more clear. So as you interact with an investor, okay, so be more clear on where you want and how you want the other person also to be with you. It will take you a long way. So next question is, will the investors have creative control? I've answered it. Next question. Do you have more questions? I'm glad that you're asking me some of the very interesting questions, which is on a real-time basis. Okay. How do you find investors in the first place? Who is this? Krishna Sagar. So how do you find investors in the first place? See, Krishna, it will be through networking, Krishna. See, for me, if I have to give you an example, how I found my investor for my company. See, when Avani was started, so we needed an investment. We needed an investor. As we have pitched every doorstep, we have gone to every person before launching the product. So the product just launched very recently. It's been almost month and a half. So my Avani Green Factory company is a one and a half month old company, but the journey behind it is big. See, how we started pitching the idea is, we first went into a third person whom we don't know. The person asked me a lot of questions, lot of things, and he told probably this business model may not work. Chalo. Once at all, the door closed. Over. So then there came another person where we went on and pitched it to a government organization. The government organization told, Madam, can you please come today? Can you please come tomorrow? They started pushing time. See, time is very precious, right? We waited for solid 3 months to hear from them. We did not hear from them. Door closed again, right? Then what we did, we thought, okay, we have an immediate friend with us, so whom we have been interacting for a while, but we have not pitched in the idea to him. So shall we give this a shot? We tried finding the what is that other opportunities. Okay, this thing did not happen. We've pitched an external investor, did not happen. We pitched it to a government body, did not happen. So what next? We put it across to a very close friend. You don't know who can become your partner at what point in time. So life gives you surprises. He's so close to us and we have not pitched this idea to him. We spoke to him. So he was so impressed by the idea. He liked it. He funded immediately and we kickstarted the business. So to find an investor at the first place, anybody can be your investor. You don't have to go back and look into a venture capitalist, an angel investor. So as you start off, all of them will come when you're in a place of profiting. So at this point in time, pitch your investor. Your investor can be your immediate next person. So you have to pitch it to the person whom your heart says, okay, I can talk to them. So keep pitching in the idea, you'll find the right person.
Okay, ma'am. We have a question from Pranav Ishwar. It says, suppose my business provides less income than I expected. How long should I stick with it? If the business doesn't work out, how easily will I be able to pick myself up and move along with the new endeavor?
Okay. So when your business doesn't pick up easily, okay, so give it time. So what I'm trying to tell you is, give it a little more time. You have given 1 year to it. It did not happen. Okay, try giving another 6 months to it. Even if it doesn't happen, try giving another 6 months, not more than this. I'm sure if you're working on a reliable service, reliable process, it should pick up. It will pick up, but it will take time. So no business will just pick up in a day or two. So it will take time for you to find your customers, for you to channelize it. But I'll tell you that at least till the last go, please stick on to it. It may give you something. So please don't become very judgmental about your business even before it starts profiting, because you can't expect profits and income at one go. Okay, so in case even after that you feel that, okay, you gave 2 years time, 1 year time, or whatever it is, then you feel I'm lost with all the opportunities, I can't do, then you give again, then you go look for other option. But what I suggest you is, give it a thought till the last try. So J.K. Rowling, she went across to hundreds of publishers, hundreds of publishers. I'm telling you live examples of people who have done. She went across with hundreds of publishers. Everybody rejected Harry Potter. Everybody rejected. But did she give up on it? No. Then she started, continued, and finally she found the publishing company. And now J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series is a hit. Similarly, the Rocky film hero, so he was also rejected hundreds of times, but they did not give up. He a Rocky movie hero, he goes and pitches his script to a lot of directors and producers, and everybody rejected it. But at the end, so he started. He did not give up on it. So what I'll tell you is, please don't give up on your idea.
Ma'am, we have one more question from Manvita J. She's asking, does financial stability or financial background matter when it comes to starting a business in young age or while you're studying still?
See, financial stability and financial thing, whatever you are with a financial background, will not come handy, or will, I'm not telling it will come handy or not come handy. It's not a deciding factor for you to start business. So you have a financially sound family, that means you start a business, or you don't have a financially sound family, but you want to start a business. I feel there is always the light at the end of the tunnel. So if you want to start a business, I feel financial background shouldn't be a deciding factor. So don't keep that financial background as a deciding factor. Just keep your idea as the deciding factor. Any more questions?
So I think that's it, ma'am. No more
Okay, let
questions.
me share my mail ID let me share it to you. You guys can all get in touch with me anytime you need any help in terms of starting up something. This is my Facebook ID, Anjali Ramachandra. So LinkedIn also, it's the same. Machandra. Okay. And my mail ID, I'll share you my personal mail ID. You can get in touch with me. So in any of these, Insta is okay. Let me share my Insta ID also. You all underscore. Yeah. So any more questions?
Thank you, ma'am. That was really helpful. I'm sure most of us will connect with you on these platforms.
Definitely, definitely. So, see, what I would like to tell you all is, please don't do what everybody is doing. Try to be different. So do what your heart says. That's it. You'll be more happier than you think.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Surely, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That was very insightful. And I'm sure all of us here have learned new and more exciting ways to, build up on our startup ideas. And, we have a much clarity on what we need to work on, what we lack, or if we have an idea, how to pursue it. So I thank you, ma'am. Because of this talk, we think we have some certain idea on how to, put it forward.
Yeah.
So, and now I would come to, it's almost the end of our session. But before that, I would request Principal Sir, Professor Pankaj Chaudhary, to share a few words and address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So on behalf of the college, BMS College of Commerce and Management, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Ms. Anjali Ramachandran, who has been so much helpful. And then her session was simply amazing. I'm sure all my students would have definitely enjoyed it. And if you see the logo of the college, ma'am, you can see entrepreneurship written on that. So we truly believe in that. That any college, that's the best platform for any student to go up and start off. And younger you are, the better you are, because you have the heart to take up those challenges and you can strive more. Once you get into corporate life, it's very difficult for them to come out of that comfort zone. So
Pankaj sir, I'm glad that the BMS College, you have put that entrepreneurship in your logo, because what happens is that most of the places we are so much into putting our students into marks and degrees that we don't really stress on the point of they exploring what they want to do. I'm so glad that your college has given them such opportunities where they can really do what they feel excited about. So very nice, sir. So that shows in your logo and that shows in your mission. I'm really glad.
That's very much there, ma'am. In fact, for us at BMS, students are on topmost priority. And this ECELL that you see today is all initiative of the students who came up with an idea, and the idea has been taken up by the institution, and we are so glad that we had you here for the session today. It was really, really insightful, and I'm sure students have enjoyed. I would like to congratulate the entire entrepreneurship cell of BMSCCM, headed by the faculty coordinator, Dr. Javeria, and I'm sure you all are doing really good. So thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your time, and to all the coordinators of ECELL for doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words. And now we have a small, pop culture quiz, and it will be moderated by Sirisha. So I would now request Sirisha to please take over.
Thank you, Namitra. Please share the screen. Yes. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'll get started.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shirisha from first year BBA. Today, I'll be your host for the pop culture quiz. But first, let me read out the rules for you. And the rules goes like this. Yes, so there'll basically be three simple rounds. The first round is the audio round, the second one is the video, and the third one is the picture. Please drop in your answers in the chat box. And let's begin with the first round. The first round is the audio round, and all you have to do is listen to the audio clip and take a guess. And the first audio goes like this.
13 years it's been, and yet here you stand before me as though it were only yesterday. I confess myself disappointed. Not one of you tried to find me.
Yes, that was the audio. Now the question goes like this. Drop in a text with the name of the character and the movie series. And the hint would be he who must not be named. You know who? Any answers? Yes, Sonal, you're correct. The answer is none other than the Dark Lord Voldemort and from the Harry Potter series. That's absolutely correct. Now let's proceed with the next audio, please.
I know the squealers when I see them. And
what do you propose?
it's simple. We kill the Batman.
If it's so simple, why haven't you done it already?
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Yes, if you're good at something, never do it for free. And the question basically goes like this. It's a masterpiece by Chris Nolan. A legendary actor known as the Anarchist is famous for his role. Any guesses? Repeating the question once again, it's a masterpiece by Chris Nolan. A legendary actor known as the Anarchist is famous for his role in this. Yes, Komal, you're absolutely right. It's Joker, but then the movie name, it's Dark Knight. Okay, then let's go to the next round, which is the video round. All you have to do is, in this, you have to watch a video clip and drop in your guesses in the chat box. Let's go to the first clip, please. The first clip goes like this.
He picked up the check, he told Mark they'd talk again soon, and he was gone. But not before he made his biggest contribution to the company. Drop the, just Facebook.
Yes, Anjali ma'am also spoke about Facebook in our webinar today, and it's a part of the famous movie, The Social Network. And take a guess, which character does Justin Timberlake play in this movie? And clue for you guys would be, the character is based on the co-founder of Napster, and that's correct, Sriram Uday. The correct answer is Sean Parker. Absolutely correct. Now let's go on to the next video clip.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures.
Yes, indeed, greed is good. Now let's go to the main part. Identify the movie where Greed is Good speech was delivered by Gordon Gekko. And the hint would be the name of this movie is famous and one of the busiest street in New York City, USA. Any guesses? Yes, Ronak, you're absolutely correct. The answer is the Wall Street. Now, let's move on to the last round of our pop culture quiz today. That's the picture round. And the first picture goes like this. Okay, so image on your screen right now. Guess the movie series by the picture. And the hint goes like, the series is also referred to as the Skywalker Saga. The ship in this picture made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parasecs. So any guess? Yes, Pranav, you're absolutely correct. It's the Star Wars. That was pretty easy one, I guess. Now we move to the last question of the quiz, and the question goes like this. Okay, so there is basically 4 pictures on the screen. All you have to do is put them together to know the movie. I'll explain you all the pictures in very brief. As you see in the first picture, a guy is hanging from the balcony and the woman is trying to pull him up. Is he dead? The second one, guy slipped and is on the ground, and the other one, instead of helping him, is having fun watching him fall. Was this a prank? And in the next picture, we have a basketball player doing a slam dunk. And in the last one, all the friends are happy because they graduated. So did you get an idea it? And to give you guys a hint, it is basically a famous 2019 Hindi movie directed by Nitesh Tiwari. So please put in your guesses in the chat section. And Komal, you're correct. It's Chichore. Thank you so much for everyone who participated in the quiz, and have a great and a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirisha. That was quite a challenge to us all. Now I would request Disha to convey the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. I'm Disha Sriram of First Sem BBA. I would like to start off by saying a huge thanks to Ms. Anjali Ramachandra for being the speaker of the day and sharing her immense knowledge and wisdom with all of us. Thank you, ma'am. We now have much clarity on to build up our startup ideas and to make it successful. I would like to express my gratitude to our beloved Principal Professor Pankaj Chaudhary Sir, Dr. Preeti Stanley ma'am, Head of Corporate and Communication and Career Development Team, for their constant support and encouragement. I would like to appreciate all the efforts by the ECELL promotion and outreach team. I thank our faculty coordinator Juvaria ma'am, team members Chetan, Prajwal, Rishil, Pranav, Amrit, Anush, Sirisha, Manvita, Shashank, Yashashwini, Kuldeep and Anamitra for their intense efforts for the preparation and execution and making this possible today. I would like to thank this prestigious institution, BMS College of Commerce and Management, for providing us an opportunity and support to conduct this webinar. I would like to extend my thanks to all the faculty members and lastly, each and every one of you for your presence and making this event a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, Disha. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here, and your presence made this event a grand success. I thank ma'am, I thank principal sir, and I thank all the faculty members who are here. So yes, thank you guys. And with this, I would like to end this session now.